All right, first and foremost, I want to say all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash. Yeah, double honors to the apostles, salute to you, brothers teaching the word in sincerity and in truth, yeah. What I want to do here is, I just was typing some stuff in. This one goes back to, well, it's updated in September. But I typed in Rfid implant, yeah. So we're dealing with, we're dealing with this, how you buy and pay for stuff and sell in society. And I remember some dude was going, oh, how do you sell with the chip? And that was cut anyway, because I mean, just transaction in general, instead of using cash, it'll be a digital. When you go, I said, when you go and go to the shop and you've bought something someone's just sold, like if you go there and you pay like this person's doing, like, how do you sell? Well, when this person scans it on the machine, they've just paid, so you've just sold. And that's another side of it, is they want all transactions to be monitored. You know, that grid, if you want to be on that grid, you gotta have that. That's the way they're setting it up. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Now, it says woman uses chip implanted in her hand to pay out Whole Foods, calls it the coolest thing ever. And you got different videos up here. You got the brain chip, you got the Elon stuff. When he's putting a chip in people's heads and he's making them play chess and that, use computers and all that. You got all this stuff like circulating, and we're gonna see it more common. You know, that's the prophecy. That's the systems change that we're talking on. That's gonna happen. It's happening, but it's gonna happen. I mean, it's happening where you got countries that, I was just watching one video today, and what they do in China is they do loads of things over there, but there's one shop where the food's on like chopsticks, yeah. So let's just say, like, if you go and you get a shish kebab, yeah, and you you know, you get like chicken shish, lamb shish, or whatever, and the stick, and then anyway, they got them like the lamb shish on it, and the food, whatever they're having over there, because you know they're like having raw fish and mad shit over there, abominations and that. But what they'll do is, the amount of sticks that you got, it's like they'll get the sticks, and then they'll take a picture of them, and it just tallies everything, the price. You know, the camera reads how much sticks you've got, and then it just does it automatically. All they gotta do is take a picture, and then you pay for whatever it is. So this technology going up like that is what we're talking about here. We talk about the smart grid, because as you can see, this society is changing slowly, or rapidly changing. Let's go into some of this. Okay, market realist. So I read some of that. And then they're just gonna, well, there's a few things. The internet claims that humanity is either taking another step in evolution or going too far with internet chips. Yeah, because that's the next step that the New World Order system wants, yeah, is them chips in everybody. People that don't die anyway. Well, and when we talk about the ones that don't die, we're talking about your depopulation agenda that they got. It says while skull chip implants like the ones from Elon Musk's Neuralink have grabbed headlines, and TikTok creator went viral for a chip implanted in her hand. Burgundy, voila, that chip girl here has a radio frequency chip implanted in her hand. One of her videos of her playing with the chip has left the internet in shock. So her name's Chip Girl, yeah. You know, people mocked, oh, the chip, it's June, the chip. No chips and all this talk. You know, that was just something that people were trying to, you know, a certain group were trying to say, and that there's no chips. Otherwise, there's no chips and all that. It's June. But the chips are out there, so you're just not looking, you're just really not using your eyes. And this is proof. She's called Chip Girl, yeah. Now, the BBC business put this out. The microchip implants that let you pay with your hand, we've done stuff on this. This is what, Twitter 2022. And it says you can now get a payment chip injected beneath your skin, turning you into a human bank card. So even that now, and that's what the scripture says. Shall I read it after? You should know what it is. It's the cause of all. Revelation about the mark of the beast. Revelation 13. Yeah. Get that in a minute. Has tech gone too far? The dog mom, bonus mom, law student, and wife has explained in her videos that she was inspired by her techie husband to get the chip. Right. Burgundy shared that she's installed a chip between her index finger and thumb back in 2020. At the time, the chip was meant to be a replacement for keys to unlock the door and closets of her smart home. According to GovTech, RFID chips are identifying transponders that carry a unique identification number. It was your ID, your digital ID. You know what I'm saying? You got physical card ID that you're using at the moment, but you're not gonna need that soon. You know, if you get pulled over by the cops or something to go over what registration and all this, they want your details. But if they got this tech in, they won't have to do that. You'll scan. And that makes it easier for them to control your ass. So do you think that, you think the elites that all about control, all about controlling the people and the people's minds, and that they wouldn't want to be controlling people via total control via microchips? Of course it would. They use technology to track and trace people as it is. That just makes it way easier. It locks it down more. So, however, she updated the tech to perform a plethora of actions and transactions. Apart from unlocking smart locks, the chip now allows her to shop without a credit card. Okay, let's see if it's gonna So Chip Girl unlocked the door at Disneyland. Look at that. So she unlocks the door at Disneyland. So if I'm reading this right, if I'm looking at this right, Disneyland I got something where you can stand there and so in Disneyland you can use a chip to go to a restaurant and eat. Yeah. From what that's showing. Because in the clip which now appears to be deleted from her account, Burgundy shows how making payments using her hand worked. In the video, which was reshared on TikTok by another user, S Swiftness, Burgundy uses a chip at a Whole Foods grocery store. So these are robots, man. These individuals, yeah, doing this, they're gone. They're slaves, bro. She's seen hovering and a hand over a payment scanner at the checkout, after which her payment goes through in seconds. It appears to be the first time that Burgundy uses this chip to pay, as he says, this is the coolest thing ever. So you got this one. Robots are the system. You know what I'm saying? Look at what they're doing, man. They're chipped up and they're making transactions with this chip. So this report, selling your soul, has become the coolest thing ever. So people are waking up. People are like, well, what's that? So if you're in the truth, man, you're supposed to know what that is. It's the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? While Burgundy certainly enjoys the convenience, the viewers watching her are largely divided. Several viewers claim that the chip has gone too far and it posed privacy risks for them. Coolest thing ever. Wake up. It's all fun and games till it gets hacked and can't pay for anything no more. Plus you'll be soulless. Some allege that it wasn't a chip, but she's using an Apple Watch palm scanner to pay the bill. The risk of chip implants. Okay, biohackers implant chips to customize themselves. So then you got the Sweden thing. So from what we're seeing here, let's go back to the top. From what we're seeing here, yeah. Um, y'all, you see where this is all heading. This is heading down this new world order plan. And like I said, people are waking up to it, but the majority of the people are meat puppets, aren't they? And some people are already going for it. You know, let's read this. Habakkuk 2. Let's get Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right? So you're gonna see this stuff happening everywhere. At least that's what they're gonna try and the mark of the beast is gonna be presented to everybody. they're gonna have that going on, and then when they're saying, "Well, we finally got this new world order, we finally got our plan set in motion," when they think they're just about to get it, so things are gonna go down out here. Chipping, chipping stations, martial law, the chip, all of that's gonna be going down. You're gonna have people they're gonna get for getting food and that they're gonna be getting up chipped and all of that stuff. So that's things that's gonna happen. Yeah. Now that's why the scripture says, "Be not ignorant of Satan is the vices." So I get that. That's not how you spell it. Okay, 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." So, um, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices here. You know what I'm saying? So, that's one of his devices, major device. You know, it's this is a major device in his it's called the next age, isn't it? And his technology, his tech is his tech is his miracle that he's got. His technology, yeah. Right now you got this electric cars thing, Teslas, all this stuff that people are into and or getting into. Net zero, this and that. It's all going down this line of what we're talking about. And that's why it says that you ain't supposed to be, that you basically do not be ignorant of his devices. Be up on what he's trying to do, yeah. Don't be not up on what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, when you're into these scriptures, the word of the Most High Yahweh Shai, you find out, you find the truth, man. You find the truth of life and what the hell's going on out here. Because you're gonna need, if we're battling against Satan and Satan, this darkness of this world, yeah, then the only way to combat that is through Yahweh by Yahweh Shai and the word, and that's real. Because a lot of people are going to be getting caught out there because these demons and that. We're talking about when Satan's kingdom starts going down. Because you know what, as it is right now, a lot of y'all are merged up with Satan shit, and his stuff's going down anyway. So what you gonna do then? Them safety nets of Satan start crumbling. Call them the safety nets of Satan. So I'm gonna close out on this one. This is an RFID Mark of the Beast update. And notice, remember the BBC, yeah? I'm gonna go dig this back up. I remember this. But they're saying you can now get payment chip in your skin, turn it yourself into a bank card, which we've seen that people are doing. So you can actually do that. Because it's just the technology and that, like you said, they've got the building, the infrastructure for all this is all set up. Contactless. It's called contactless. It's there. You know what I'm saying? Or they haven't got no. It's called contactless. Cashless is when it's fully phased out cash, but contactless. That's what people are doing anyway right now. Most people just go in the store, tapping the bank card. So this is where things are at. So I'm gonna close this one out here, and you know, stay vigilant. You know what I'm saying? What the hell's going on out here, man? Because all these safety nets is Satan. It's all gonna crumble. It's all gonna change. All this stuff out here is going in lines of this and prophecy. So I'll leave it there. Shut up.